And next up, we have got the Battle of the Northeast. We've got Gav Robinson, who's he's as mad as a box of frogs. Is Gavin, and I mean that in the nicest way possible. He's
he's great. I mean, I hope he wins just for the interview. He just doesn't stop, does he?
Well, I think we'll only get one question in.
Yeah, you've got one chance for Gavin. Hell of a character, though.
Oh, tremendous character.
He kind of plays like he is as well. You know, I remember the first time I played him in the Worlds about 5 years ago. I sort of found out the hard way that he's pretty good, because first impressions, you can't help yourself. You kind of think, he's a bit twitchy. This guy, he's a bit all over the place. This guy, and it just kept on clearing up. Quite frustrating. So Farnsworth broke first, dry, good break as well. Nothing down. I think they're roommates, aren't they?
I'm not quite certain, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are. They definitely have been.
Yeah.
Same neck of the woods. Play from the same club.
Yeah, so
good friends.
Mark owns a club up in Washington, the Sky Lounge. We've done a few events from there before.
Yeah, lovely club.
Yeah, nice venue. And for those of you who new again to IPA, Mark Farnsworth, 2019 world champion, won an absolute incredible match in the final. Almost 6 hours of just thrilling entertainment.
Oh, back and forth, back and forth. Tom Cousins, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
It was absolutely phenomenal match, and
he was on the brink in that match as well, wasn't
he? Yeah.
I remember thinking, the bottle he showed from, I think he was, I can't remember if he was 2-0 down when 3-2 down in sets, or whether he was 2-0 down in the deciding set, or both. I can't remember now, but I just remember thinking there were 3 or 4 clearances under maximum pressure that were just sort of sums the guy up, really. So seeing Gav take on a tricky cut there. It's kind of gone wrong a little bit, to be honest. First time I played him, I felt like he was almost, it was a bit like a Jack in the Box. Is kind of he's up, down.
Absolutely. Unconventional.
Very unconventional, yeah.
But effective.
Very effective. Go for the double.
There you go.
Shot. For my next trick.
He's a commentator's nightmare. I think we're going to have a bit of trouble calling some of these.
He'd be a nightmare in commentary. You wouldn't get a word in, would you?
Yeah.
Funny guy, though.
He likes to give you a full autopsy.
Yeah, he's a great character.
What's he got up his sleeve now?
Ultra Thinker.
Oh, nice clip. Is he going to get a result? Well, he's still going.
Do you know what? It just reminds me of the only time I've ever played him. He just 3-4 times in the match. You think, I'll get a shot in a minute. He's making a right pig's ear of this, and he just finds a way. Just keeps pulling shots out. Keeps digging deep.
10 seconds.
Doesn't lack courage. Bottle. Another one. Great shot. It's brilliant.
Yep, he just keeps going. He's not taking a backward step.
It's just a case of, has he got enough angle? He's obviously not overly happy with it from his body language, but has he got enough angle to sort of punch across this left-hand side of the table?
Oh, tremendous shot there, Gav Robinson.
That is a great shot, because he didn't have much angle at all. He's had to hit that really hard with stun run through. That's a great shot.
He is pumped for this.
He is.
He is pumped for this.
He is pumped. He wants to pump his roommate. Give it to him all weekend, just reminding him of how he's done him in the quarterfinals of the pro event.
Yeah, we'll just watch that final yellow, and
Look at that. It's almost it looks pretty much dead straight, and he's hit that so hard.
yeah,
It's a great shot.
with stun run through.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
That is a top draw shot.
The cue ball's a bit. Anyone that plays snooker, you play a stun run through. It's a bit more of an advanced shot to play, but it's even harder on a pool table because the cue ball's smaller. Great shot. So, one dry break from Mark Farnsworth, and he somehow finds himself 1-0 down after gathering out of position probably 3 or 4 times in a row. Still found a way to clear up.
Leading 1 frame to 0. Time running.
If there was ever a frame that summed up Gav Robinson, it's that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just, tricky clearance. Makes it look really, really difficult, but gets it.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
See what he's got on the break. Controlled. Oh,
Yeah,
ball's
good break.
flying in.
That's really good.
Well, look at these reds. Well, yeah, I think
Ooh.
reds.
Are they all covering each other?
Well, knowing Gabby, he'd probably just take yellows just to bamboozle us even more.
It's for the crowd.
Yeah, it's a good split, but as you say, it's all just a little bit. Everything seems to be blocking each other.
Yeah, I think the only red he can go for is the one in this bottom half of the table. If he could somehow get the white back to sort of where the yellow is above the red in the bottom half of the table, then he's good cannon away from the clearance being very easy. But I think he's having to go yellows. Yeah, he's got no choice. So, he's only got one bad yellow.
Yep, and he'll be trying to move that, I think, this shot.
Yeah, is he maybe got a chance to get in behind it if he takes this one now with top and right hand side, get himself on the baulk line? No, he's just gone straight into it.
It's a little bit unfortunate there.
A little bit, but I'm not so sure he hasn't got an angle now to stun up into the 2 reds to the left of that problem yellow. Maybe take the yellow into the middle.
Yeah, it's a good area for him to aim at.
Yeah, he's probably going to be on something, whether it be the yellow in the corner or that's probably about as bad as it could have come out, really.
Yeah,
He's hit it a little bit too hard. A little bit softer, and he'd be on that yellow into the corner. But Gav does what Gav does. I'm sure he'll find a way.
Yeah, a few doubles and trebles and.
10 seconds.
Does this go into the doesn't go past the black, does it? He always took it long. I can't believe he's done that. He's kind of all eggs in one basket there and took the yellow into this bottom right hand corner pocket, but he's missed it by quite a distance. I think he might have felt a little bit of time pressure there from the shot clock. Rushed it a little bit.
Yep. So first chance for the former world champion, who's been in some pretty sparkling form this season.
Almost won 3 tours back to back, didn't he?
Yep.
Won the first 2 and then lost in the final of the third one. A 20 match winning streak. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous on a local level, really. 20 matches, let alone. Oh, there's nothing else to say.
Yeah, certainly found something in the off season and has come back with an absolute bang.
Yep.
Rediscovering the form that put him to the number 1 position for several years.
Yeah, multiple winner. Cubal's on a string when he's playing at his very best. Interestingly, yesterday against Curtis Lee, he was far from his best. Really didn't play well at all. But he just found a way. He was 6-5 down, ended up winning 8-6, and somehow just found a way like champions do, really, to just get over the line. He was got the job done. Sometimes you've got to win ugly. One apiece.
Frame.
Yep, no mistakes there. One chance from Mark Farnsworth, and he levels things up at one frame all. I think that's going to be the thing about this match, isn't it? You're going to have the extrovert nature of Gav and the cool, calm, collected approach from Mark, and it's whichever's going to prevail.
Yeah, and the other thing is, as much as we joke about it, Gav's obviously a great player, but his style can be off-putting to some people because he's a little bit. You feel like you're always going to get a chance, and he just keeps on potting him. He keeps on, finding it from somewhere and finding a way to make the clearance. But Mark, with a practice with him so many times, he'll just, it's not going to frustrate him at all.
Three. Mark
He
Farnsworth
knows his
to one.
game inside out. They'll know each other's games inside out.
Score tied at 1 frame all.
And I suppose it works both ways. Sometimes the underdog playing, you have an underdog playing against his practice partner. He's almost, there's no intimidation factor there because they're pals. They're roommates. I think sometimes it can work both ways. Other times, if he just gets hammered in practice all the time, maybe it does dent his confidence, but I think Gav's one of those kind of ballsy sort of characters. I don't think he'll be well up for this.
So, another chance now for Gav. Is he going to go out here?
10 seconds.
He's going to have a little look at yellows. He's going to be on the one into the left centre. Not much else to go at.
No, and his obvious problem's the one just above that. I think ideally on these tables at this level, you probably just want to play a double into the opposite middle pocket. So I'd be looking here to just play the yellow into the left middle, use the yellow just above and to the right of that, and just bump into that slightly.
Yeah, so he's not done that.
No, he didn't fancy that. No. Shut up, Danny said.
He's going to screw the white across this side of the table.
Yeah.
I like how he has his collars up. He's there for a gunfight, isn't he?
Eric Cantona.
Yeah.
There's a bit of arrogance about him there, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Believes in himself. Up for the fight. So yeah, he's just going to play the double I was on about. After taking the cue ball all the way over to the other side of the table.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a position though, isn't it? After he pots this.
Yeah, needs to. So he's chosen to roll it dead weight, and I understand why. He's not wanting to the white to go over towards this cluster of 3 reds at the top, which, had he made the potting angle, which would have meant he clipped it thinner, he probably would have gone towards that. But I think sometimes you got
10 seconds.
to just make sure of the pot. He's hit a poor one there, but he's got away with that. He has got away with that because he's on this into the left middle. He might not realise it yet, but this is quite easy on him to the left middle.
Yep, should still be okay. I mean, we talk about, Mark Farnsworth, one of his big strengths, hand on table with the patterns. He is one of the very best.
Arguably the best, yeah, hand on table, because
Time running.
he hasn't got a bad break, but his break is not one of the. He's not a big breaker. He's not one of your 5 or 10 that people mention. Oh, he's got a great break. You don't say that about Mark Farnsworth. So for him to have the success he's had, just says how much. Says an awful lot about how good he is with his hand on the table.
Yeah, it's strange that, over the years I have seen a bit of an improvement in the break this year, and I think that's probably what's leading to, some of the success he's been having. He's definitely done some work on it, and there's a bit more in it than there has been previously.
Have you ever tried to work on your break?
Well, I don't play, so it's no good asking me.
When you played, I know you're modest, but you used to be very good back in the day. About 40 years ago, you were brilliant.
That's because nobody else played.
No, but did you?
No.
No.
But the break, It no. When I used to practice, it was more about cueing and getting into that position where you didn't think you were ever going to miss. So it was more about that for me than sort of. I think there's just been more focus on the break over the past sort of 4 or 5 years, really, because everyone sort of realised just how important it is. So there's more thought gone into it.
Especially with these rules, the attacking black ball rules, it does make there's less safety play because the rules don't allow that, or they don't lend itself to that. That's a great shot, by the way. Double into a corner pocket is never easy.
No.
Very good shot from Mark. These are the crucial frames as well. Early doors, still nip and tuck, 1-0, well, 1-1. You know, these are the frames that hurt because Gav's got in first. He knows how important it is to try and punish Gav's mistake here.
Yeah, and Mark will know exactly what he needs to do against Gavin, because they've obviously played so many times. They know each other's game inside out. He knows that he wants to get on top of Gavin early doors and just put the squeeze on.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, and he didn't seem too concerned about this. And I thought he was maybe a little bit.
Playing lots of
quite
side.
straight enough. He's dead weight. It's a lovely shot, very well controlled. The last shot as well was a lot better than it looked. He dragged it with lots of sort of bottom left-hand side. Couldn't afford to punch it, otherwise he'd have lost the cue ball. And playing those shots with a lot of side and drag over such a long distance is far more difficult than people realise.
And even that shot there, that was you've really got to cue those sweet.
Yeah, very delicate shot. Yeah, and he's this isn't an absolute gimme, but I'm sure we'll get it. 2-1 Mark Farnsworth.
No mistakes from the former world champion. He lost the first frame, but he's back and he's won the next two.
Yeah, talking about the break, the reason I asked you is I remember probably 6 or 7 years ago, I first thought to myself, I should practice the break. And I did, to the point where me and my mate would we'd set the balls up for each other and we'd have sort of 10, 20 breaks each. The other one just keep setting them up. And then we're discussing it, saying, oh, actually, you don't have to just hit them as hard as you can. Because I always used to, until, like I say, whether it was 6, 7, 8 years ago, I don't know, but my motto was always, if in doubt, hit them harder. And that seemed to work all right. My break's always been okay. And then you realise a little bit, and I remember seeing it from Jack Whelan, because he's one of the very best breakers, when you watch it, he doesn't seem to be chucking his body into it. It's not always the big guys, the powerful guys that have got the big breaks. And then you realise that it's actually a lot more to do with timing than it is power. Hitting the sweet spot, hitting that front ball as flush as possible. So you want the white to come back in a dead straight line, because then you've hit the absolute sort of, you're transferring all the force through the pack, if you know what I mean, and the even just the micro millimetre off centre, you're losing force kind of thing. So it is actually more important to time it well than it is to get power into it, and timing is power, I suppose.
Yep.
But you remember when you ever play Killer in the pub, and you get 2 shots, didn't you, if you've got the break, and you tap the pack, and they split really well. You think, oh, I've barely hit them, but you tap them, they go, whoosh. They don't normally go that one, I hit them hard. But and then another thing I realised after that, as I started practicing less and playing a bit less when our local club shut a few years ago, was actually I tend to break well as the tournament goes on. So it really is. It's just a cueing thing. If you're cueing well, you break well.
Yep.
And I find that when I'm struggling with my break, it's no coincidence that I probably haven't played for a while. First round or 2 of a tournament. And then as you feel your way into a tournament, say you've won 3 or 4 matches, all of a sudden you start to break really well. You're not hitting them better. You're not hitting them more powerfully or anything like that. You're just cueing well.
Yeah.
And it just reminds you really that the break is a shot. It's not a whack. It's not a hit. You know, it's a shot that needs to be executed just like every other shot, really. But it's a lot easier said than done. And if it was as simple as that,
You'd be a millionaire.
yeah, exactly. But that's the way I understand. Other people will probably give you a different. But I'm pretty confident that what I'm saying is right because I've kind of gone over everything. You know, again and again and again, kind of thing. You see, Mark's making his way through this clearance. He's doing it Gav style, isn't he?
Yeah, Gav's the effect of Gav is rubbing off a little bit on Mark. It's just not quite his usual precise self.
No, and he's even is he contemplating playing this one first?
Well, this is going to be some positional shot now.
Yeah, I think he's going to just try and get over the right hand side of the table.
What a shot!
Great shot!
What a shot! Oh, he don't want to be hitting the knuckle.
Oh, I thought he'd knuckled himself there. Now what do? Do you try and get close, or do you just leave yourself in that top left-hand corner of the table and leave yourself a shot at the black?
Yeah, I think I would. It's it's only just over a foot from the pocket.
I think you've got to, haven't you?
Depends how confident you're thinking. You might want to push the boat out here.
If you can get into it enough and hit the cushion just above that one, there we go. But that's the problem.
Where's the yellow?
You don't think he's got away with that, has he?
I think he's snookered.
He's going to have to bend that.
And that was the trade-off, wasn't it? He tried to get better position,
Yeah.
but higher risk.
Fun running.
Yeah.
So it's not a total. So I can see some of it.
He's properly swerving it, though.
I fancy him to get this. No.
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 Guarantee you when he sits in his chair now, he'll think, why didn't I just leave myself a shot on the black? If he leaves that top left-hand corner, it's still an 8 or 9 out of 10 for Mark Farnsworth. Still.
Yep.
But in a way, it's kind of a mark of his confidence, really, that he's tried to play the more difficult positional shot because he feels confident enough to do it.
A couple of options here for Gav. He could try and put this yellow in the top right-hand corner, sort of middle of those
3.
And try and bump the one off the left-hand cushion.
I think that's the smart thing
Just
to
above
do.
the one that's just above the centre pocket.
Yeah, I think he's got to. The only thing that can go wrong here is a double kiss, maybe.
Nice.
Perfect.
He's played that well.
Yeah, very good.
And I think the one on the cushion here, just on the sort of bottom left-hand corner, he'll just leave as it is. He doesn't need to move that.
No. He might see him take that maybe third last yellow and then leave the 2 in the middle till 2 in the right middle till last.
He walks around the table. It's like he's ready for a gunfight, isn't he? He's got his holsters
Scrap.
ready.
Yeah, he's ready for a scrap, isn't he?
The gunslinger. That's what his nickname should be. Nicely done.
Nice.
Confidently done.
Straight down.
He's certainly one of these players over the last couple of years has definitely been on the up.
Yeah, I said this yesterday about Gav. I can't remember ever seeing him in a semi-final or a final. But he should be, really. He's good enough because I've seen him play really well against very good players plenty of times. But it's just a consistency thing, I think.
Yeah, did he get to the semi-finals in Ireland a few years back?
Maybe, but even if he's only been to one, but if you know him and you've seen him play enough, as unconventional as he is, he's really effective.
Yep.
And he gets the job done. And I think he's underachieved, really, given his ability. Yeah, it's a compliment, really. I'm not.
Yep. I think he's been a slow burner.
Yeah, he's really worked hard at his game. He plays an awful lot.
And, we're starting to see now some, better results, a bit more consistency, going a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
So, if he keeps on the trajectory that he's going at, he's going to be knocking on the door for a title. Next year could be it could be this week, who knows? But, you sort of think next year could be a big year for Gav Robinson.
Definitely could be.
Frame 5, Mark Farnsworth to break. Scores tied, 2 frames all. Time running.
So away we go in frame 5, and it's dry from Mark. We've talked about his break being, if he has got an Achilles heel, that is it. I mean, it's a good split. You know, there's more balls in the top end of the table than the bottom. But nothing really threatening a pocket in a serious way. So first chance to Gav in this one.
Yeah, and the obvious problem is this: the black and the yellow together, black and the red together, bottom left-hand corner of the table, which is a problem for Gavin, whether he takes reds or yellows. He's gone reds.
So the top that Gav Robinson's wearing, you may have seen Liam Dunster and Mark Farnsworth wearing similar ones. They're the tops that they wore for an event we did back in May, I think it was, that featured the one and only Jimmy White.
The Whirlwind.
The Whirlwind was playing black ball. It's good to have him there, and hopefully we'll be doing something again with Jimmy at some point in the new year.
I noticed something the other day watching the snooker on Eurosport. It's a good shot from Gav. Is he on it? No, he's pointed to the gods.
I'm not sure what he was doing there.
He's pointed to the sky. I don't know what he's done. Oh. I think he's just pointed up again. That's you again. Pointing to the pool gods. I noticed, so that, you know, the saying that we have in pool, break and dish, dishing up,
Oh,
as opposed to clearing up or clearance, breaking clearance. There's a dish now. It's kind of the thing that pool players say now. He's dished off the break. He's done. Jimmy White in his Eurosport commentary, punditry, he now says dished up.
is he?
He's the only one. He's the only snooker guy I've ever heard say it, but you can tell he's caught on.
Yeah. Jimmy's played a bit of pool in his past.
He does a few pool exhibitions, doesn't he?
He does.
You know,
He does.
trophy, you know, handing out the trophy nights kind of thing and stuff like that. He'll play against the locals. Household name.
Yeah.
See, Mark, on yellows there, it's not quite gone to plan, because the plan there was to open this pocket up so that the black went into the bottom left-hand corner pocket, and although he was trusting a little bit to luck, he's the red sort of stuck around that area, so it's still a problem for him.
Yep, he's going to need to work these out meticulously.
Yeah, and whether he's going to do it or not is one thing, but he'd have thought about leaving the yellow on the left-hand side cushion as his last ball, and playing position onto the black into the bottom right-hand corner pocket, but he'll need to get absolutely perfect on that yellow, and it will be, unless you can rest on the red to the left of the black, he's going to leave himself a tricky black. So he's got a decision to make as to whether he tries to actually break it out or whether he's just going to play a pinpoint positional shot. The other thing he can do is play one of these yellows in the top hand, in the top side of the table, off of the red. Now, if he was just to the right of where he is now, maybe 2 or 3 inches to the right of where the cubal is now, he could play the yellow off of the red into this bottom left-hand corner pocket and open it up. But he's just a little bit out of position. Don't know whether that was his plan or not.
10 seconds.
Going into it now. He is.
Oh, wow.
Well, he's solved the problem but created another one at the same time.
He's got a double.
Got a double. Can he take it? Can he take it long into the top left corner pocket? Is it a big pocket? Got to play the double, haven't you? He's almost got a bit of insurance now because Gav's red is in front of the black, and it'll feel like a free hit. This.
10 seconds.
Very good. Very good from Mark Farnsworth.
Yep, he's not going to be taking a backward step in this match whatsoever. He's not going to be playing a safety shot. He is just going to be sending a message out to Gav saying, look, I'm the daddy here.
Yeah. I beat you up in practice, and I'm going to beat you up here as well.
Yeah.
It's
pretty much that, it is pretty much that's what he's trying to say. He's trying to almost bully him to say, look, you know.
Well, joking aside, I've got mates that I practice with that I tend to beat in practice, and you will have that. Your friends off the table, best mates, but you on the table, it's it's war. 3-2 up. Mark Farnsworth. Scrappy start.
Yeah, it's not fully ignited yet, although some nice shots from Mark. He's played a couple of nice doubles.
Yeah, just he got that habit, hasn't he, that all great players do, of composing himself for the one or two big shots per frame. That even if it's just that pinpoint positional shot, gathers himself, takes the extra second or two. Like he did there, made the double, made a tricky finish look easy.
Gav Robinson's nickname, I think, is the Rocket. Is it Rocket Robinson?
I think so, yeah.
I think it's the Rocket. And Mark Farnsworth's nickname is Big Ray. Do you want to tell us about that?
No idea. No idea, do you?
Well, I presume it's after Ray Winstone, isn't it?
What, does he look like him, does he? Doesn't, does he?
I bet he wishes there was a pound behind him.
He's probably not far behind. Surprised when he's won in the last 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, we're almost setting up a direct debit with him now.
Yeah.
So Gav gets frame 6 underway, ball potted.
Yeah, good break. Oh, clusters.
Oh, that's just gone a little bit messy.
Seconds.
Yeah, very messy. Going into it early. Ooh.
Well then.
A little bit firmer. It wouldn't have been so bad. Wouldn't have been too bad at all. The red would have gone over the right middle. Had to give him an opportunity to get to break into his other bad one, which is just above the right middle pocket. As it is.
10 seconds.
Gav needs to decide whether he's going to kind of stick or twist. Does he carry on chasing the finish? Which is what he tends to do. What most players tend to do at this level.
Yeah, he's going to keep going, isn't he? He's going to keep going.
No, he's not.
Wow. Well.
Can he believe it? I think it was the right thing to do, though.
Yep, definitely the right shot to play. And a good sign, I think. He's not trying to push the boat out. He's not trying to play to the cameras. He's here to win.
It's one of the things that Mark's very good at, as well as he's a very attacking player in general, but seems to have the presence of mind to play a safety shot at the right time when others would have carried on chasing the finish.
10 seconds.
Doesn't want that in. That's perfect. He wasn't trying to pot that. I definitely feel like he's got control in this frame, Gav Robinson. Well, because he has. You know, when you're playing someone like Mark, you kind of the better they are, the more the more worried you are when you keep on giving them a chance to influence the frame. You feel like you may have the upper hand in the safety battle, but you're always waiting to pull the trigger. You know, you want to play an aggressive safety, and force your opponent to push the boat out, so to speak. Mark's kind of saying to Gavel, you know, you can go for it if you want. You've only really got one bad ball now, which is the one near the right middle pocket. It's like Gav's taking the bait.
Yep.
I think the shot, if he can play it, if he can get over near to where just above the black, he can push the red in and out, push the red near the right middle pocket in and out of the cushion, and weld it to Mark's 2 yellows below it. So all three is ball out. Might see him play it here. See, he wanted to be a bit closer to the black because of the pace he has to hit it at, but because you don't want to be flicking off the red and then pushing the yellow towards the right middle, bottom right corner pocket.
No, he's got a plan. I don't think this will be short pace.
He's playing a double. Just double kissed it out. Oh.
Okay.
Yep, fair enough. Over to you, Mark.
Yep. So he didn't take the bait fully. He did what he needed to do, just get that dodgy red out, and now he's just asked the question of Mark.
10 seconds.
Yeah, I like that. He's Mark's deliberately done that. What that now means is the red just above the right middle pocket. He isn't going to have a big pocket by being able to play the plant.
Yeah, it doesn't change the nature of the frame too much.
10 seconds.
Still all to play for in this one.
I think we're going to see Mark
Short pace there, whatever he was deciding to do.
yeah, I thought we might have seen him just play safe and flick off the right hand side of that yellow and dump the white on the top cushion there. But it's quite interesting to see what
10 seconds.
you see one of your proper elite players like Mark, how they handle a frame like this. And that's
not the best.
no, that's not as planned. I think he was maybe trying to come off the back cushion and land welded to the red, or tie the black up with the 2 yellows. As it is now, I mean, Gav's got a free hit at this as well because Mark's just not missed it. He's missed it.
That's unlucky. It was a good attempt. It wasn't easy.
No. What's Mark got? Can he top into the cluster? Can he do? Does he, or can he? Play a really delicate snooker.
10 seconds.
Play the yellow into the middle. Top it through.
Just tying the black up.
Just tie the black up. Oh, has he? Does that go off the yellow?
guess does Gav want to get involved in a tactical exchange with Mark, or does it? I don't think he'll think that's his best chance of winning the frame. I don't think he's left enough angle there.
No, he's not happy at all. Shake of the head.
That's a pretty careless error, to be honest.
Yeah, wasn't happy with that at all. He wanted to top it through more and leave himself the angle to play the red bottom right corner and smash into the pack, knowing that there's a really good chance he's going to be on the red that's over the top right corner pocket.
No, just putting all the eggs in the basket now.
Yeah, I'm almost saying that Mark's favourite now for this frame.
Yeah, he's way short there. He's 2 feet, maybe even 3 feet short.
Yeah.
Is there any way that black can squeeze between those 3 yellows into the middle?
I mean, surely if it does, there's no way he'd be looking so concerned and so annoyed if this goes, unless he's just trying to wind the commentators up. No, he's gone into it. Yeah, obviously didn't go.
Yep, hold on tight. This will be calling all bags.
Heave ho.
Yep, absolutely. Give it a good thrash.
Don't just tap it and just try and leave the 3 yellows on the side cushion.
Not for me. Not for me. But I think that's what he's looking at, because he's asked the referee to see if it's. Just don't see any value in that at all. You're just going to be snookered in the next shot.
Yeah, there you are.
And big second favourite.
And don't get me wrong, he's probably going to have a. Actually, I don't think he has. It might not even be a snooker.
Yeah, you might want to leave him an edge, so that he's got to hit it a bit harder.
Yeah, he just had to guard against leaving him the right-hand side cushion, which I think he's just done, because it's actually not that difficult to make it into the left middle pocket if you leave that. No, he hasn't.
What's gone in? Oh, the white's gone in. He could see the cross double. Wow.
Well.
Time running.
Almost made it.
Time out.
Turning point in this match. Gav was completely in control in this frame. Really had the upper hand for nearly all of it. And Mark's just very cleverly clung in there. Looks for all the world of going 4-2.
Yeah, just a couple of questionable shot choices.
From Gav here, I think maybe maybe that's why we don't see him consistently in these semis and finals. For someone that's got, that I've seen play so many great matches where you think, gee, he is very good. I think it maybe is just that consistency. Every match or two, you're going to get 1 or 2 of these kind of frames, and does he maybe not win as many of these ones as he should? He'll probably be aware of it. Very hard practicer. Just don't want to flick that yellow. He just flicked it, but just about okay.
So this black along the cushion to go 4-2 ahead in this race to 8 frames. No mistake, in it goes, and that's probably the one that got away from Gavin. So coming up after this, Dan, another juicy serving of IPA action. Two world champs, Ben Davis, John McAllister.
Wow. Well, and that's just a quarter final, is it?
It's just a steady quarter final.
It's a steady quarter final. Brilliant.
So how do you see that one going? What's your initial thoughts?
I haven't seen the way that Ben's playing this weekend yet.
Frame 7. Mark
although he always plays to a certain level.
4 frames to 2.
Two-time
Time
world
running.
champion. But John yesterday against Corey Reese showed signs that he was playing really, really well and that he was very confident. There were a couple of shots, and you know sometimes when someone makes a clearance and you think, he's but there's certain shots that they play in that finish where you just think you wouldn't have played that unless you were ultra confident. You know, the way that they play a certain positional shot. And I saw a couple of those from John yesterday that just made me think, you are ultra confident.
Mm.
And he obviously knocking on the door, he lost at, was it 8-7 in the pro final to Liam Dunster in a great match at the last tour. So, I mean, he's won quite a few of these now as well as current world champion. So there's no, we all know how good he is. But yesterday I saw something there that I just thought he looks like he's on top form. So I'm going to go John McAllister. Although it's a coin flip, let's be honest. As most of these matches are.
I think really we should just all have a game of paper, scissors, stone, because I think that's the only way to split some of these guys. I mean, the standard is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, how do you pick a winner out of Liam Dunster, Mark Farnsworth, Ben Davis, John McAllister? I mean, it's literally who gets out of the bed on the right day.
Yeah, exactly.
On the right side.
I think it is. I mean, joking aside, it's those 2 or 3 clutch moments in the match. You know, when a tricky finish does come up at 3-4 up or 4-3 down, 5-3 up. You know, half chance to go 6-3. Do you take it? No. It goes 5-4. Opponent breaks and clears his 5-all in a flash. It's just them big moments. You see it a lot with tennis.
Right.
And you'll see Djokovic beat someone 3-0 in sets, but total points one's almost identical.
Mm.
But all the break points,
Yep.
the tie breaks, the big points of the match, they play it well. And I think your Farnsworth, your Dunsters, your John McAllisters seem to do that better than anyone.
Are they the best 3 in the world right now? Where would you put Clint?
Yeah, Clint's in there. I think you always tend to have. For me, you've always got Farnsworth and Dunster. Last 2 or 3 years, they've always been in the top 5. You know, you've got your big 5 on form at that time. Dunster and Farnsworth are always in it, always. But the others can rotate between a Ben Davis. Right now, it's definitely a John McAllister and a Clint Hansen. Maybe a Jack Whelan. Other times, you'd have a Mark Boyle, a Craig Marsh, a Simon Ward, a Jordan Shepherd. List goes on. You know, but at the moment, yeah, I think I would say, yeah, race to 20. Got to put my last bit of life savings on it. I wouldn't want to be backing against Dunster, Farnsworth or McAllister against really anyone else. They're my 3 overall.
And how are the life savings going? Is it healthy? Looking healthy at the moment? Can I borrow a tenner?
Yeah, it'd be a Jersey tenner though. No, Isle of Man tenner. I thought it was Monopoly money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this weekend, without a doubt, Liam Dunster's the best match I've seen. Flawless.
Mm.
Like an 8-5 against Dean Shields. Dean was breaking well. Liam wasn't. So that might be where he comes unstuck this weekend. Dean was breaking well. Liam wasn't. But Liam actually didn't miss a single ball in open play. I think he ran out of position twice, recovered it once, and the other time he just laid a good snooker. I mean, he really didn't do anything wrong. It was flawless. And nobody else has played that well this weekend. This is the 4th or 5th match I've commentated on now, and I've watched a few up in the room. Just sat around in the arena, and nobody's played as well as Liam yet.
So whilst we've been chatting away, Mark Farnsworth had his best break probably of the tournament and quickly ran out, take a 5-2 lead. Gav's trying to respond in the same way. A little bit more work to do. That's come out nice, played that well. Had to hit that hard so that the yellow that he was cannoning into bounced away from where the black was. Played it well, so now the reds look easy. It's just a matter of getting onto that black. And still keeping himself within touching distance of the former world champ.
Yeah, and look, he's on 5 mark now, and yeah, it doesn't matter how good you are, or you can be 5 times world champion. You can always break dry 2 or 3 times in a row, and for that reason, Gav's never out of it at 5-2, back against the wall, and he's definitely a big second favourite, and he's made this a little bit more difficult than he should because he wanted to be tight up against this left-hand side cushion. So this is now a little bit more missable than it was. He's played it well.
Yeah, that's a good shot.
Very good.
Yep, good response there from Gav. As I said, just keeps him close enough. 5-3 behind. And, again, for anyone who's just tuning in or new to watching pool, watching the IPA here on the BBC, the IPA runs a series of tour events around the UK and other events as well. But the tour events that are featured on the BBC, we run around various venues, and this is our 4th stop in 4 months this year, so it's been pretty hectic.
Yeah, back to back.
And so we started off at Coventry in August, and then we went to Gosforth and then Bournemouth, and here Tour 4, we're in the Isle of Man. Each event sees the professionals play in the showpiece event, which is what we're watching now, and we've got other tables in another room. There's another 14 tables in the back. I call it the back room. It's a huge room, and we've got the ladies event underway. We've got the amateur event, and we've got the open event, which is all the amateurs and all the open and all the professionals. So lots of matches going on for the full 3 days.
Oh, nearly last ball rolling for Mark.
And so check us out on the usual social media platforms, whichever is your preferred choice. Twitter handle is at IPA Pool. Facebook, you can find us on IPA Pool Tour. Obviously the website, ipapool.com. Check out all the latest news, action, etc. And just to keep you updated on what's coming up. So we'll be with you all day today now till the conclusion of the professional event, and then we're back tomorrow from 12 o'clock, and we'll see the conclusion of the open, amateur and ladies events. So we'll see all those finals, and then we have a bit of time off then, Dan. We've got a bit of time off, Christmas, recharge. And then we're back again in January here on the BBC for our grand final, the 5th tour. Double prize money, double ranking points. It's all to play for. There's so many things up for grabs. And that'll be coming to you on the 23rd of January, I think. And
Then the big one.
Then the big one, again on the BBC for the first time, the World Championships, the 2022 World Championships. We missed the 2021 edition because of the pandemic, but we are back in February the 15th. Set your calendars. You do not want to miss that event. That is the showstopper. It is the flagship event of the year. And all 5 days will be coming to you here on the BBC. So we can't wait for that.
Gav doing what Gav does. He's getting through these. And he should really be going 5-4 here. And like we said just a minute ago, although it was 5-2, Gav clears them up, and no matter how many world titles you've won, you can always break try, which Mark just did. Gav's broken cleared a million times before. This, assuming we go 5-4 here, assuming Gav doesn't do anything silly with this, just float this in, trace a right hand side. Nicely done. Should be looking at 5-4, and it'll be Gav Robinson to break. This is game on.
It certainly is game on.
Can't shake him off.
Yeah, no mistakes there. Good dish from Gav the Rocket Robinson. He trails just by the odd frame, and as you said, Dan, it will be him to break. This is bubbling up very, very nicely indeed. It's almost got a feel of that last match. You know, it's sort of got a feel that this could be another 7-all.
Yeah, that's what we all want to see, isn't it, really? No matter what sport you watch, is it? If it's football and you're a neutral, you want to see a penalty shootout. You know, if it's tennis, you want to see a deciding set. You want to see a tie break. Everyone loves a deciding frame. Gav steps up.
Frame 10. Kevin Robinson's break. Trading 5 frames to 4.
Huge break for Gav. Well. Dry break from Gav.
Yep, that's a momentum stopper.
Yeah, returning the favour.
I mean, he was pretty close to that top left corner pocket.
Yeah, and at first glance, it's not going to be the easiest clearance Mark's ever had, but it's not far off. I'd fancy Mark to clear up on reds here, but yellows look pretty good too. If that's not quite sure if that's a plant into the top right corner pocket. If it is, it's even easier. If it's not, he's not going to find it. He shouldn't be finding it too difficult to sort that problem area out. He's got many options of which to do it. It's just taking a bit more time at the start of the frame to figure out exactly how he wants to go about this clearance. I think like every top player, we're going to see him go into his problem area straight away. Left himself an angle to go into these two yellows that I don't think are quite a plant into the top right corner pocket. So this is probably the first and last thing that can go wrong. Doesn't want to stick to a yellow. After he makes the cannon. That's gone about as wrong as it could have gone.
Yeah, not ideal.
Not at all.
Not ideal at all.
No, that's not how he played it. I think he was trying to just nudge the first yellow further down and leave himself on the second one if he could.
10 seconds.
Yeah, he's got 10 seconds to figure out what he wants to do. He's used his extension. Clever shot. It's a clever shot, but that's not what he wanted. A minute or so ago, he'd have been thinking about 6-4. Now Gav's got a chance to at least do something in this frame. Make life difficult for Mark in some way, shape or form.
10 seconds. Extension called.
I mean, pool. Let's talk about just pool in general. You know, it's it's been a sport that's been around for donkey's years. You know, a lot of people will be watching this for the first time.
Time out.
And, you know, we've probably all had a game, you know, obviously we play a bit more serious than most people. Most people have had a game down the pub, you know, world beaters, you know, when we've had a beer and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, what we're seeing here now is a completely, you know, the professional side of it that, you know, a lot of people will be aware of. And, you know, for those people who are watching, will think, oh, I'm quite good. Well, you know, what do they need to do to step up to this level?
The simple answer is enter tournaments. So start off with local tournaments. Enter as many tournaments as you can, because you'll soon then find your level. And I think the biggest thing is trying to figure out what you do wrong in the first place, so how you can improve. I think that's probably the hardest thing for everyone of any level, actually. You know, top level. I think top level you kind of probably understand it a bit better.
Running.
But when you don't play to such a great level, or you're just on the, you know, at the start of your journey kind of thing, is trying to figure out what. I've done a bit of coaching locally, and I think it's trying to teach people how to figure out how to get better by themselves, really, because there's only so much coaching you can do on technique and things like that. But at some point, you're out there. You got to think for yourself. You know, when it comes to pattern play, is a good one. Whether or not to go for the clearance or not, what order you want to take the balls in, etc. But I think really, just enter as many tournaments as you can. Practice with people that are better than you. Definitely try and find whoever the best player is in your area, and practice with them, because you'll soon see then if you've got a real thing for it. And most people get the bug, you know. And but for me, when I was a kid, it was just entering tournaments. The moment I started entering tournaments, quite a competitive natured person, and you soon, you know, you'll lose. You'll try and figure out why you lost. Then you'll practice. You'll practice to try and put right what you did wrong in the tournament, and then you'll enter another tournament, and then it's just repeat, do it again and again, until you get better, really. But yeah, enter tournaments. You can do all the practicing on your own you want, but and do that, but do that in between entering tournaments, I think.
What is it? I mean, you talk about the bug. It's quite an interesting phraseology that we talk about sometimes. What is it about pool that gives you that bug? Because obviously, you know, it's not snooker, and there's, you know, all the, you know, high profile, all the money that is in snooker. You know, what is it about pool that just makes it just so engaging and just so great to play and so enjoyable?
I think it's the every frame's different. You know, you look at something like snooker, and it's you know, quite. I play a bit of snooker sometimes for fun, and I find the tactical side of it there really isn't much. You know, you're playing thin off the pack, or you know, how am I going to go into the pack, off the blue or off the black? I'm dumbing it down a little bit, but you know, every frame of pool is different, very, very different. There's no deja vu moments in pool. I had a clearance just like this the other day. You know, where there were two balls over on the left-hand side, and we play thousands, tens of thousands of frames, and no two frames are the same. And also, I think anyone can win a frame of pool. You know, you've got to be to a pretty good level to beat Jimmy White or Ronnie O'Sullivan in a frame of snooker, and they could beat you 100-0. You know, even if you can make a 20-30 break, they could beat you 100-0 every single time if they wanted to. But that's a great shot from Gav, by the way. It's a brilliant shot. As we see the nip and tuck carry on. But I think with Paul, it's kind of, you know, I've lost to people so far below my level many times in one-off frames. And I think that's what, you know, everyone feels like they got a chance. I had people in the pub, I'll play you for a fiver. They're rubbish. You know, but they you know, they think and they know that they can win one frame. They can, you know, and sometimes they do. Yeah. It can happen. You know, I think it's not one of those games where you feel like you need to put 20 hours a week into to get to a good level. You know, and it's a game you can play casually. I like, say, for example, to play a bit of golf, but you go and play golf for a day. It's a 6-7 hour day. You've got to get there half an hour early. You're 18 holes, then you go and have a drink afterwards because you've got to, because it's sociable, even though you don't really want to. And all of a sudden, it's a 6-7 hour activity. Whereas pool, you can go down your pool club and you're back with her an hour and a half, and you've had a good little session. You know, I think that's what it is. Isn't it the second or third most participated sport in the UK? There's a lot more people playing in a pool league than a snooker league, isn't there?
Yeah, it's certainly up there. Yeah, it's in the top 3 or 4, I think, of participated sports in the UK, and even with the difficulties that the sport has had, obviously when the economic recession kicked in 2008, 2009, a lot of pubs that would have had pool tables in would have shut down. We all know the impact that had on the pub trade, and obviously pool had an impact on pool. A lot of pool teams disappeared, and a lot of pubs would have taken pool tables out and converted them into restaurants. Because it's all about return on per square foot and all that sort of stuff, isn't it? So
Yeah.
pool's had to weather a bit of a storm over the last sort of 10 years, but certainly it's had a major revival, and I think, to be fair, that the IPA has led, over the past 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
It's definitely a sport that is on the up, and probably most tables that people are familiar with playing on, they'll have had green cloth on, for example. But we completely rebranded the sport. We've given it an identity, I guess, really, and moved it away from small snooker.
Yeah, completely. I think it's one of those sports like this game, for example. Now, Gav's just about to go 5-all from 5-2 down. For me, as somebody that doesn't, I'm probably someone that doesn't enjoy practicing as much as most. I enjoy tournaments, really enjoy them, but as a viewer, if I start watching a game of pool, I'll always watch it to the end. I don't know why. Well, I suppose I do know why. It's because it grips you a little bit. But there's other sports and other games where you can just go, I've had enough of this. Even football. It's probably, I've had enough of this. I can see what's going to... But because even though Mark Farnsworth's arguably the best player on the planet right now, and Gav Robinson is a very good player, but he's a level or two below Mark, because Mark is elite, one of the best of all time. But at 5-2 to Mark Farnsworth, Gav still isn't out of the match. And I think that's what grips you, and that's what keeps you watching to the very end in pretty much every game, because you just know when it's 7-4 to someone. Well, we're only one dry break away from it being 7-6. The momentum's changed, and
And it happens so often, doesn't it? I mean, it's a good point you make.
It happens all the time.
I mean, 5-all. I mean, this is all to play for now. 5-all. How are you going to call this? Is it going to be the experience of Mark Farnsworth that's just going to come through at the end, or is the enigmatic Gav Robinson going to be the victor?
This shot's going to go a long way to doing it. Well, he's played that well. So we can see Mark's small problem he had. He got into straight away, like he always does. He's just left himself queuing a little bit off the cushion now, but I think he was always prepared for that.
Mark seems to be playing at quite a high tempo. I think even for him. There's always a very fine line between rushing and playing at a high tempo. And
wow, that's a collector's item.
Yeah. I can't quite put my hand on it, but he does seem to be as if he's trying to force it, trying to ram home that message to Gav.
Do you know what sometimes it is? Is you, no matter how smart you are, sometimes the competitive beast in you will go, I know I can beat you playing my way, but I'm going to beat you playing your way, you know? And so maybe I've definitely done it myself, and I know it's the wrong thing to do, but quicken up against a quick player. You know, maybe it's an ego thing. You just go, oh, I'm going to beat you, and I'm going to play quick. I know you. You know, I'm going to demoralise you for future matches. And I've definitely done it before. Sometimes it works. Other times, you come unstuck because you try and play someone else at their own game because you think, no, I'll even beat you at your own game. But you get yourself into a pickle. And I think you're right there, Mark. Well, I mean, look at the clearance Mark's just missed. They weren't absolute sitters, but he'd done most of the hard work there. And he seemed to have played a bit of a slack positional shot before. And you just wonder, you know, does Gavin's style of play get to Mark a little bit? Does he get drawn into playing a bit of a quicker game against Gav, or does he, you know?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, Mark Farnsworth is a great player by, he's
playing his way.
Playing his way.
Yeah.
Why would you want to ever deviate away from that? Is that going to
How's
drop?
that not gone in? I think it still might drop. Wait
It's
for
got
it.
5 seconds. Got 5 seconds. That's the limit.
He's in the clear. What a moment this is. 5-all. Had a chance each. Now Mark's got his second bite of the cherry, but these aren't difficult. The black's tied up. Is he going to try and break it out? Is he just going to leave himself a double? Big moments. These are the moments that I was talking about before. Those key frames in matches, like your Djokovic in tennis, you know. Who plays the big points well? Gav's had his chance in this frame. They weren't really difficult. He's taken out more difficult things in this match, but he didn't get it at 5 each. Is Mark going to?
I'm just wondering if he's got the angle to screw down on this bottom cushion and get behind the black and bump it off the cushion, or is he playing for the double? He's playing for the double. That looks... He needs to slow down. Oh, that looks pretty good.
Just about all right, I think. Oh, the yellow's gone.
The yellow's dropped.
See there, the referee was just walking around Mark, sort of getting out of Mark's way as Mark was lining up for his next shot. The yellow's dropped and the ref didn't see it because Mark was literally in his way. So with these rules, like you say, you've got 5 seconds for the ball to drop before it's your opponent's shot. If it goes in after that, it just gets replaced. It's a huge moment in the match for Mark Farnsworth. He's made a double.
Absolutely drilled it.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Smooth as silk.
And that was all down to that superb positional shot to get onto the double. If he'd have gone a little bit further, he may have struggled to make the double. But he landed perfect, and he just edges ahead 6 frames to 5.
Yep, and it's that first big moment in the match. Both had a chance each. And guess who's won it? It's the guy that's won about... It's the guy that must have won close to 20 IPA titles. Finds a way. Sometimes it's more pleasing when you win matches having had to scrap it out. You know, it's very satisfying obviously playing great. It's very satisfying playing really well, and you know, the whites on a string, you're making the game look easy, but sometimes when you reflect on winning a tournament, you think, actually, I really dug deep there in 2 or 3 of those matches. I played great in a couple. I played great in the final. Played a really good quarter-final, for example, but the semis and the first round, I really had to dig deep, and sometimes they're the most satisfying ones of all.
Frame 12.
So Gav knows now this break's more important than ever. He's got to put that last frame out of his mind.
How can he respond after that error in the last frame?
He's hit them well. Doesn't look like anything's going in.
He's dry.
Dry as a bone.
So first opportunity in this frame to Mark Farnsworth. So it looks like he's going to be going for yellows, obviously, but work to do. Just getting the red cleaned. He's just seen a little bit of chalk on it. So yeah, as we've said before, if you new to pool, just follow us on Twitter and Facebook, and send us a message if you want to ask our experts any questions. We'll find an expert for you to answer.
Simon Ward in the commentary box next.
Yep, the boomerang.
The boomerang, former world finalist. So he'll be commentating on Ben Davis against John McAllister, and I commentated on the final, and possibly the best final of all time. Up there with is a toss up between that and the Cousins Farnsworth one, where it went to a deciding frame. Simon Ward and Ben Davis, and Ben came out the victor. Did a very good clearance, played a very good skill shot. I remember it well.
Yeah, in the last frame.
In the last frame, yeah, it was actually a little bit of a tactical battle. It'd been clearance after clearance, all match. A little bit of a tactical battle in that deciding frame.
That was
Ben came out the victor, but that was brilliant. Yeah, I can see what you've had to say. That was amazing.
Fantastic shot there, developing shot there,
Yeah.
showing true world champion qualities.
Well, it's that big moment, isn't it? You know, the big moment, the big shot. Gets this right, gets that shot right, and that's the key to the frame. And more often than most, when it really matters most, Big Ray comes up with the goods.
Big Ray.
Can overhit this, doesn't want to underhit it. Perfect.
Is this Mark Farnsworth's charge for the winning line? Just seems to be coming out the stronger player in the latter stages of this match.
Yeah, it's just like we say, playing the big frames well. Every frame becomes that little bit more important as you get closer to the winning line, and true champions do. Mark Farnsworth seems to have upped it a notch. Very good clearance at 5 each, followed with a finish from Gav's break. It wasn't that easy. He had one bad ball to get out, but he played that shot really well. Takes a 7-5 lead, and you went back against him breaking and clearing up here, would you, to finish off the match? It's typical.
Yeah, I think that's what's in his mind. He just seems to have seized the moment.
Yep.
And
scrappy game. Played quite well, but there's been a few back and forths, a couple of uncharacteristic misses. But when it's really, really mattered, he stepped up.
Yeah, and that's the qualities of true champions. They do it when it matters. And I think Gav will be. If he does lose this match, I think he'll be a little bit disappointed. I think there's just a couple of, as you say, key moments that he maybe could have done a little bit better with hindsight.
Yeah, definitely. This reminds me a bit of the game that Mark played yesterday against Curtis Lee, which I commentated on. A little bit below par, but the very end of the game, when it really mattered, he was clinical. The last 3 frames of the match, absolutely clinical.
Well, we won't just write Gav off just yet, because that's a dry break from Mark, and if the last match was anything to go by, we shouldn't count our chickens. Ryan Clark, who was 7-5 up. Oh, that's gone wrong. That was a bit rash there from Gav. He's literally got no shot here.
Yeah, he just seems he didn't really take that long to figure out. You know, sometimes you see people come down the table and they'll maybe with their cue point to exactly the point of which ball they want to cannon. You know, and he seemed to just get down and think, well, I need to go into that problem area. I'm just going to go into it. You know, hopefully it comes out all right, kind of thing. And it looks like he's played a pretty good safety. He doesn't want to leave. Well, let's see, Mark's got the one bottom left, bottom right, but he might even have the one into the left middle as well.
But it's a chance. Tricky, but he'll be having a look at these, I think. This is a chance to close out the match and take his place in the semi-finals, which will be coming up later on this evening, as well as the final. Make sure you get the food ordered in. You don't need to be going anywhere. Your glasses topped up. And watch the conclusion of this fantastic event.
10 seconds.
Who will be in the final tonight? Well, Farnsworth will be hoping it'll be him, of course.
Yeah, I think he's just tried to flick the red that's above the black there, and he's just grazed the black first. If he'd have got that cannon right, it would have been frame over. But if he's on it now, he can break this out now. He's had to play it with a bit of side to make the potting angle, but he's played it well. Slowly opening himself up this frame.
Yeah, just going a little bit. You know, that red just to the top left of that yellow that's nearest the right centre. Is that going to play a part?
I think his last ball's going to have to be the one on the cushion. Or is he thinking about going up table, the one in top right corner now, then play on the one on the left-hand side cushion?
Yeah, it's going upstairs now.
Yeah, let's to get the cue ball over towards the left middle pocket.
Let's judge that perfectly.
Oh, that's perfect.
I'd have been enough there. Centre bag.
Yeah,
100%.
other people as well wouldn't have played it with a lot of conviction, so they might have played it a little bit more tentatively. They might have left themselves a little bit closer to the middle of the table because they didn't want to get anywhere near the left middle pocket. But he's played quite a courageous shot there. It's come out perfect.
10 seconds.
He's done most of the hard work. He doesn't like the angle he's left himself.
I think he's left himself straightish. He wanted to run the white through to this right-hand cushion to leave that yellow in the left centre. I'm not sure he's got that angle.
Even if he was short, he could have, because the black only goes into the bottom left, so.
What can you manufacture?
So he's going to play it into the left middle pocket. He just about dig into the cue ball enough to hold. See another little grimace. He's not quite sure if he can. It'd probably be alright, I think. Oh, it's tight. It's going to be going towards the right middle pocket. It's really getting to this cue ball.
I think he is just okay and just get it below the right centre.
Yeah, that's a great shot. It's a brilliant clearance when it mattered most. And with Sim from 5-all, he hasn't been at his best, but Mark Farnsworth has closed this match out as if he was at his best. That's a great performance from 5 each. Mark takes his place in the semi-finals. And up next, a hell of a treat for you. We've got Ben Davis against current world champion John McAllister. You're going to have Simon Ward in commentary with Dan Fairway. I'm just going to get a couple of words with Mark Farnsworth now. So Kev Barton's going to just do a quick interview with Mark, and then we're going to hand you over to Dan Fairway and Simon Ward for the next game.
I'm joined by our third semi-finalist, Mark Farnsworth. Mark came really strong at the end there after a bit of a nip and tuck battle early on.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good match, scrappy here and there, but I feel really good. Just keep making daft mistakes, and just try to battle on, Gav played really well. I think it was 5-2 up, and I pretty much coasting to get that lead, and then I think he knocked 3 in a row, batted and took some good finish down, put us under pressure, and then I've managed to nick the next one to go 6-5, which was a big frame. It was a scrappy frame, I think, and then managed to nick it, so it got my nose back in front, and then I've took the last couple of finishes out pretty much all right, but I feel really good, but just a bit edgy on the shots and that, probably just a lack of match practice and stuff like that, but I feel I can just keep losing the white and a couple of bad pots here and there, but a win's, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, it certainly is. Into another semi-final. Your form this season has been nothing sort of sensational. What do you put all that down to?
Just got a little bit of hunger back again. I became a bit disillusioned with the game and wasn't really, not so much not practicing, but even coming to events, and my heart wasn't in it, and then you sort of have that break and then come back and then you want to win every match, even when you're struggling. I've managed to dig down and just try to make things awkward, whereas I think probably the last couple of seasons I probably threw my arm at a couple of shots here and there and getting beat without putting a fight up. But at the minute, I got up early this morning, I was on the practice table 7 o'clock this morning, just wanted to try and find a bit of form, so I still want to win matches. That's the most important thing.
Obviously, a lot of interest in this match. You and Gav, same neck of the woods, northeast. What's been the reaction back home?
Yeah, he's came on leaps and bounds. He's always had loads of talent. I think he's played a snooker from when he was younger and stuff like that. A bit erratic with a white, but his one ball potting is very, very good. He's getting a lot better his all round game, but he's came on a lot, and I think it shows when he's some of the results he's getting, and he's played a lot of money matches, and his confidence in a one table environment with a big crowd, it's really, really impressive, So he's came on a lot. I don't think it'll be long before he's into a final, and maybe he's winning one of the tournaments.
Well, for now, you're the master today. You're in the semi-finals. Good luck.